I welcome you again today to today's episode of Healthy Living on Pensioners 106.7 FM. My name is Bilkis ISHOLA TAIWO. Of course, what we do on Healthy Living, we get to talk about our health. We get to talk about our environmental health. We get to talk about everything that concerns us, that concerns living a healthy lifestyle. That is what we get to do on the program Healthy Living.
Land is green, it's green, oh, oh.
And of course, as you know, as usual, I don't do this alone. I do have a guest. I have guests in the house to do this with me. And today again, we have brought to you another interesting topic to discuss. You want to know what it is?
In the rain as the clouds go gray, the thunder roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. The sunlight it hides as the clouds make way for the pouring of my blessings. I will not be afraid.
Yes, today we'll be talking about obesity. You did hear me right. Excessive weight gain, obesity. What is it to be obese? When exactly is it that you have had weight gain that you can actually stand to say that you are obese? All right, this is what we'll be looking at on Healthy Living this afternoon.
See, the harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it. Dance once again, it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping joy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see?
All right, let me let you know that when you're talking about obesity, you are talking about the moment when your weight is above what is considered healthy. When your weight is above what is considered a healthy weight, then you can say you are obese. This is where I'll bring in my guests. And in the house today, I have two guests with me. That's Mr. Andrew Ele. And I also have with me in the house, Alaja Winjobi. Good afternoon to you two.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, presenter.
Welcome. How are you today?
Fine, thank
Very
you.
well.
It's obvious. All right, so today we're talking about obesity. And to start with, the very first question, of course, is what is obesity?
Well, I think obesity is the accumulation of fatty tissues in the body system, which often than not leads to increase in size of an individual, which we refer to as overweight.
Okay. Alájà ẹ káàsán, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Pẹ̀lẹ́ o, moderator Kasan.
Ẹ ṣeun gan ni. Èyí tá à ń wò lénìí òun náà ni obesity, eléyìí tí a lè pè ní ìsanra tó jù, téèyàn bá sanra tó ti wá kọjá àlàáfíà ẹ̀dá, ìsanra àsanjù. Kí ni ìsanra àsanjù tí a bá ní ká wò ó?
ẹ ṣe olóòtú ìsanra asanjù ni pé tí ẹni yẹn bá tóbi physically ẹ ti kọ́ rí kùn gbogbo ẹ̀ á yọ bí ẹni tí olóyún. Àwọn tí a máa ń pè ní fat ọ̀rá á ti tún pọ̀ ní ara ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé òun gan bó ṣe ń rìn ẹ ti mọ̀ pé eléyìí ó ti kọjá bó ṣe yẹ pé kó ó sanra jù physically ẹ ti mọ̀ ikùn á yọ bí olóyún ara ẹ̀ gan láì lóyún kò ní lè tún gbéra bó ṣe tọ́ àti bí ó ṣe yẹ. Àwọn nǹkan tá à ń pè ní fat yẹn á sanra gan, ìyẹn là ń pè ní fat á ti wà lára ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé tẹ bá ní a máa ń pè kan ní body mass index tó jẹ́ pé tẹ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ bó ṣe yẹ ìyẹn máa ń wọ̀n height ẹ̀ then á tún wọ̀n body weight ẹ̀ ẹ wá fi body weight ẹ̀ fi divide the height tó bá wá ti di ojú bí ìlọ́po mẹ́ta sí age and sex ẹ ti mọ̀ pé eléyìí ó ti sanra ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ.
So lọ́nà kan ẹ ti sọ fún wa pé bá a ṣe lè mọ̀ tí èèyàn bá sanra lásànjù léléyìí tó jẹ́ wípé ó ti ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà ẹ̀dá. Ẹ ṣeun gan ni. Mr. Ele, over to you now. How do we know when someone is obese?
It's very simple. If you want to rely on scientific evidence or proof, like she rightly said, you have to go by body mass index. It's just a measurement test whereby you get the weight and the height of that individual. So when you cross-patch them, that is dividing the height, which is measured in centimeter, over the weight, which is measured in kilogram. Then you now have categories. We have different categories of obesity. So both the early stage, the middle stage, and excessive weight. So that measurement that you get is what we call the body mass index. So where you now place it on the log or the table that I've just told you will determine the particular area the person belongs to. Whether the person is getting out of hand or the person should watch his or her weight. It's through that body mass index. Secondly, you can also rely on your physical awareness. Whereby mere looking at an individual, you know the normal weight of you as a person and maybe your age mate. And you see that somebody who is your age mate is 3 times bigger or fatter than you. Definitely that person is obese. So that is physical appearance.
Okay, that leads me to the question, what can we call the causes of obesity?
Well, the major cause of obesity is usually overeating. When you consume excessive foods which the body may not necessarily need at a particular point in time, especially the starchy food, the body has a way of curtailing the waste by converting them to store them as adipose tissues in the body system. And as this keeps on accumulating, if you don't burn them down, then the person will have problem. The body mass will begin to build up, and that is one of the major cause of obesity, as it were. Definitely there are other causes as well, which I will also categorize into 5 or 6, like the dietary changes. When we talk of dietary changes, some people prefer taking sweet foods or drinks. So anything bitter is not in their menu. So as a result, the person will keep on accumulating the fats or the starchy food that we are talking about. Then we have what we call occupational hazards. This occupational hazard is so much related to those people engaged in sedentary works, like tailors, office workers, clerks, and such like, who sit on the chair for a very long period of time, maybe 6-8 hours in a day. So they hardly have time for exercise, and as a result, they don't even sweat. Like we are in a studio like this now, you can't sweat. Definitely, if you decide to be, that's why you're on shift most of the time. If you decide to stay in the studio from morning till night, every day continuously, I tell you, you'll be obese in the nearest future. Then the third one is hereditary issues. You can agree with me that there are so many parents, either the father or the mother is fat or obese. Definitely they have the tendency of giving birth to fat children. So as a result, if you know that your parents are fat, either of them may be fat or both, then you have to also watch, because you have the potentiality of becoming fat in the process. So when you watch yourself, you won't get to the level of that your parents. Then drug-related causes. This one usually even just family planning methods alone. If some people will go for injectables or insertables, some of them have tendency of increasing your weight well. Then so many people abuse drugs. There are some drugs that increases someone's weight. So if you take those drugs without doctor's advice, definitely you'll be obese. Then we have also what we call underlying.
And you see, sorry, I want to come in there.
Yeah.
This part of the world where we find ourselves, we tend to be of the group when we are being prescribed a drug, and fortunately for us, we get to use the drug and it cures whatever it is we have used it for at the moment. Then the next time when we feel such some symptoms, we don't bother to visit the doctor. We just go to that drug, we start using it, and automatically it becomes one thing we'll use constantly.
That is where the abuse comes in, without the doctor's advice. So definitely the first advice the doctor must have given you is based on certain preconditions, which may no longer be in existence in the second instance. So for that reason, you don't say because the doctor asked me to take paracetamol for the headache, so next time now it has to be. No, that's very wrong.
All right. Moving on.
Then the fifth one, like I said, pathological conditions. There are so many disease conditions in the body that predisposes one to be obese, like this renal failure or renal problem, whereby the kidney is unable to process the water intake. So the urine and excessive water in the body will keep on accumulating in the system, and that will also increase the sizes of the tissues, which will make the person look fatter, but it's not a good fat. We are looking at it from outside. Then high blood pressure also have a way of increasing someone's fatty tissues. Then diabetes, whether it's insipidus or mellitus, has its own way of also increasing somebody's weight in the process. The last of it all is lack of exercise, inactivity. When someone decides to be inactive, like we said, you work in a studio that is fully air conditioned. At the end of the work, you enter into your car, which is also air conditioned, and you get to your house, whether there's electricity or not, the gen will have to run, and everywhere will be chilly. And at the end of the day, that lifestyle is very bad lifestyle. It also leads someone to obesity.
So now, if I may ask, does it mean sweating in a way also contributes to reducing of weight?
Definitely. As you sweat, that is activity. The body is tasked. So as you are sweating, you are burning the fatty tissues in the body, because the adipose tissues are on the surface and the underlying surface of the skin. So as a result of that exercise, the sweat goes out and it goes out with it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eli. Alájà Òwìnjọ bí ẹ jẹ́ ń padà sọ́dọ̀ yín nísìn. Gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe jẹ́ wípé ẹ ti jẹ́ ká mọ àwọn nǹkan tí ó lè fà á kéèyàn fi ẹ ti jẹ́ ká mọ nǹkan tí a lè pè wípé èèyàn ń sanra ní ìsanra àsanjù. Nísìn mo wá fẹ́ kí ẹ láyé wa àwọn nǹkan wo ló lè fà á kéèyàn sanra àsanjù.
Ẹ ṣeun olóòtú. Diet ní ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan ó máa contribute to obesity, pé kéèyàn sanra jù. Irú ìlú míì sìn wọ́n á jẹ àmàlà, wọ́n á tún mọ́ ògì sí, carbohydrate ọ̀pọ̀ carbohydrate wa. Ìlú míì dẹ̀ ní bóyá ibi civilized kan tó ti ní processed food, wọ́n ṣe ń jẹ junk foods náà máa mu coke, yẹn náà tún máa ń jẹ́ kí ara kó tóbi ju bó ṣe lọ. Irú àwọn yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n kàn tẹ̀ tó jókòó wọn ṣiṣẹ́ kankan tó jẹ́ pé kàn ṣe ń jẹ irú yẹn náà lè wáyé. Occupational náà, we call it occupational hazard. Nǹkan tá a máa ń bá pàdé níbi tá a ti ṣe, for example, àtàwọn bá ń jókòó lójú kan náà tí wọ́n ṣe nǹkan kan ojú kan náà
tó
ti
jẹ́
ti
pé
jẹ́
iṣẹ́ wọn ń ṣiṣẹ́ máa lọ máa bọ̀ máa lọ máa bọ̀.
irú àwọn ìyá ọlọ́jà yẹn náà ẹ rí pé ojú kan náà máa jókòó sí tán máa ta ata tán máa ta ayọ̀ ibẹ̀ náà ti máa tún róúnjẹ ojú kan yẹn náà ni so tendency wà wípé kí
irúfẹ́ ni bẹ́ẹ̀
kan
máa
tún
ní
sanra
àsànjù.
then hereditary bóyá wọ́n bímọ wọn ìdílé wọn wọ́n máa ń sanra ẹlòmíì àwọn sọ pé ìdílé àwọn báwọn ṣe ń sanra ni kò dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé it's hazardous láti máa sanra bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn so àwọn yẹn náà wọ́n máa fi ń jọ ra wọn ṣùgbọ́n tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ ṣe tàkíyèsí ó lè control then àwọn kan tún ní ego wọ́n máa sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ dàbí mọ̀mọ́ àwọn fẹ́ kàn máa respect àwọn wọ́n máa ní oògùn kan tán máa ń pè ní owú wọ́n wá máa inject God bless you wọ́n máa wú àwa máa tóbi àwọn náà máa rọ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ pé àwọn lọ́lá àwọn ṣe gbá àwọn ṣàwò whereas they are doing more harm than good to their system.
ṣètẹ̀ rí láyé ìgbà kan ni a máa ń wò bíi pé ẹni tó bá sanra ló lọ́lá láyé ìsìn ìlera wa jẹ́ nǹkan kan tó jẹ́ wípé ó jẹ wá lógún ó dẹ̀ ti wá yé wa nísìn wípé ọlá ò sí nínú kéèyàn sanra fàkíàfàkíà.
wọ́n fẹ́ lájiyọ̀ bó ṣe rí gẹ́lẹ́ náà lè ṣe sọ yẹn then àwọn tí wọ́n máa inú ẹ̀ ní ti drug yẹn náà tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n á mú gba oògùn ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ tó máa fi ń sanra tó máa fẹ́ làwọn èèyàn máa mú tó máa fi sanra.
ṣé pé àwọn èèyàn ń lo oògùn ẹlẹ́dẹ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n mọ àwọn tó máa ń sin ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n ní àwọn oògùn kan tó máa fún wọn tó máa jẹ́ kán tóbi so that àwọn tó fẹ́ ra ọjà wọ́n á lè sọ pé yes àwọn kan fẹ́ rà kò sí evidence but àwọn nǹkan tá a máa ń gbọ́ nínú rédíò ni ẹ pé tó bá rí lágbájá bá ti sanra wọ́n á ní oògùn tó ń fún àwọn ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ tó fi ń tóbi àbí tó fi ń fún àwọn adìẹ òun ni wọ́n máa tún lò. Then pathological conditions àwọn disease kan wà tó wà associated with obesity irú ẹ̀ ní hypertension bí kejì mi ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan irú ẹ̀ ní heart failure irú ẹ̀ ní diabetes yẹn náà insipidus la máa ń pè fún ọmọdé àgbàlagbà ó ní diabetes torí pé wọ́n máa jẹun lóríṣiríṣi wọn yó wọ́n ṣe ń jẹun náà tún tọ̀ dànù á máa tún ní weight sí. Then lack of exercise ó tún máa ń ṣe ẹlòmíì á jókòó ìwé lè wà níwájú ẹ áníkẹ́nìkan lọ bá mu wá á lóun ò lè para mu ẹlòmíì ò ní lè rìn tó bá ní kó èmi ò lè rin o ọ̀kadà ni máa wọ kíní kọ̀ọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wọn ò ní ṣe exercise ṣẹ́rí ijó gan is an exercise at home tẹ bá ń play àwọn music tẹ like tẹ ń jó gan exercise ni tẹ ń gbálẹ̀ tẹ ń tún lè ṣe exercise ni kò ń ṣe vigorous one tá a bá ní ẹ máa lọ gbá bọ́ọ̀lù ẹ máa lọ gbá kíní
àbí kẹ́ máa sáré
nǹkan oríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ló máa ń jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn ní kán sanra ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ torí wọn ò ní ṣe exercise wọn ò dẹ̀ ní jẹ healthy food bí mo ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yóò jẹ àmàlà tán á tún mọ̀ gbèsè ìmíì tún bó ṣe ń mu kóòkì ló máa tún jẹ oríṣiríṣi àwọn pop-up nǹkan tó máa ń jẹ́ kán sanra yẹn so gbogbo yẹn ó lè fúnyàn ní obesity.
alájà ibi tẹ́ wá sọ̀rọ̀ dé yìí ṣe mọ̀ pé gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ ẹ ní àwọn kan ajámàlà wọn á tún mọ́ọ̀gì sí ṣé irú yẹn ṣé kò ṣe step down ni pé wọn kàn fògì step àmàlà down.
kò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o bẹ́ẹ̀ta kẹ́ẹ̀dọ̀ tó sáàchì rẹ̀ gan is enough tó jẹ́ pé tẹ́ bá ti ṣẹ́ bá ẹ̀ kàn sùn lọ and by the time you sleep off you gain more weight. So tẹ́ bá máa mọ̀gì ẹ mọ̀gì tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ jàmàlà pẹ̀lú gbẹ̀gìrì ẹ̀yà kúkú ya mu omi sí
tó bá má fògì sómi
ẹ má fògì sómi torí yẹn gan máa ń fúnyàn tendency láti put on weight ẹ rí i pé gbà táwọn èèyàn bá bímọ tán wọn á máa ní kó gbé àmàlà gbóná kó mọ̀gì sí so that ọyàn á lè omi ọyàn á lè wà at a result gbogbo fat tó a tún ṣe so gbọ́dọ̀ check ẹ̀ láti jẹ́ pé gbogbo nǹkan kọ́ ó wà ní létò.
nísìnyí nínú àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ sọ fún wa wípé ó lè ṣe okùnfà kéèyàn sanra àsanjù ẹ dárúkọ kéèyàn má máa ṣe eré ìdárayá ipe lack of exercise ipe exercise ẹ ń gbìyànjú àti sọ fún wa pé exercise téèyàn ò bá ti máa ṣe ó máa ń ṣokùnfà ara àsanjù.
oúnjẹ tá a jẹ wọn accumulate sí body kò ní burn out.
èyí tẹ̀lé tí wọ́n fi ń yé wa náà ni wípé exercise kò pọn dandan kó jẹ́ wípé à ń ṣe nǹkan tó le.
especially fáwọn àgbàlagbà especially fáwọn àgbàlagbà but ọmọdé tẹ̀sí lè fi figures because the tissues the cells are still very young but àgbàlagbà àti ní the generative changes in their system so gbogbo nǹkan wa ní pẹ̀lẹ́pùtù kájó ká kọrin
Níwọ̀nba.
níwọ̀n ìyẹn gan exercise tó ń kọrin bó bá dẹ̀ ní long brush o lè gbá ilẹ̀ ìyẹn gan exercise ni bí ilé yín bá dọ̀síà tó bá rìn lọ tó rìn bọ̀ 10 times níbi staircase ẹ̀ you have done the exercise.
ẹ ṣeun gan ni.
Yes, sir.
Ó eléyìí tí wọ́n fẹ́ mú mi síbi èyí tẹ́ pè ní hereditary èyí tá à ń pè ní àjogúnbá
Àjogúnbá.
tó jẹ́ wípé tá a bá wo ìyá tá a bá ní àwòyá tó bí èèyàn àwò bàbá tó bí ni lọ́mọ
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ẹni tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n lára ni wọ́n
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
tó dẹ̀ wá jẹ́ wípé ọmọ náà ipasẹ̀ àwọn òbí ẹ̀ òun ló jọ wípé òun náà máa ní ara irúfẹ́ ẹni báyìí kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ni náà lè ṣe kó má bàa di wípé òun náà á lọ sanra àsanjù àgàgà jùlọ fẹ́ni tó jẹ́ wípé ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń dàgbà bọ̀.
ṣe ìbùn ìlú yẹn inú mi dùn tẹ́ béèrè ìlú question yẹn ó jẹ́ kí n rántí antinatally láti máa ń sọ fún àwọn ìyá olóyún wípé oúnjẹ oríṣiríṣi oúnjẹ tó máa jẹ kàn jẹ́ pé kì í ṣe carbohydrates òun náà máa kó sínú
máa tẹra mọ́.
wọn náà máa tẹra mọ́ kàn má kọ́pì pé lágbájá ń jẹ nǹkan báyìí èmi náà jẹ nǹkan báyìí lágbájá tóbi báyìí èmi náà wọ aṣọ tó báyìí kálukú gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe moderately pẹ̀lú your lifestyle má copy lifestyle somebody else wípé lágbájá àgbà tó jẹ́ kó sanra kó ṣe ó possible kí wọ́n jẹ́ kó tún sanra hereditary yẹn kò dẹ̀ ṣe control ó ti natural but to guide it only the
From
main
going out of hand.
only the main thing tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa ṣe then drugs yẹn náà ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa lo drugs nílòkulò ìfẹ́ tó bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ síyàn kéèyàn lọ rí dókítà àbáwọn tán kọ́ṣẹ́ mọṣẹ́ nípa ètò ìlera then oúnjẹ wa náà a gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ nutrient food tó jẹ́ pé níwọ̀nba carbohydrate níwọ̀nba fat orí gbogbo ẹ̀yà combine together and they are working as a team ìwọ̀nba carbohydrate ìwọ̀nba fat àti vitamins àti gbogbo omi and so on ní moderately má copy pé tàbí kó máa dáṣà pé bí kankan ló máa pààyàn so máa sọ pé kan ló wà bí kú ló máa pààyàn èyí gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ fi lè rárẹ̀ èèyàn
jẹ́
náà
òjò wa
ṣeré.
gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sí patí kán fún ẹ lóúnjẹ rẹpẹtẹ oúnjẹ rèé ẹ bá máa mọ̀lá sí bó ṣe ń já mọ̀lá ó tún jẹ ẹsẹ̀ mọ́ so má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ rárá rọra jẹ níwọ̀ntúnwọ̀nsì kó dẹ̀ mú mi sí kó bá ní ìgbésí ayé àlàáfíà.
Ẹ ṣeun gan ni Alhaja. Before I round up, because our time is fast spent on the program, and I'm sure we'll continue from here next week, God willing. But quickly, I want you to speak more, Mr. Andrew. I want to take your reaction on the issue of hereditary obesity for those who inherit it from their parents. How can these people manage it? How can they work towards their obesity not going out of hand?
You see, I will approach that question from another angle.
Okay.
There are so many people nowadays, they will tell you that I don't want any stressful condition, I don't want to put myself into stress. I'm telling you, stress is a good thing.
Really?
Yes. Stress is what tasks the body. The ability of the body to respond positively to it is what makes you an individual. Your inability to respond to the stress or the stressor brings the immune system down. That's when you know somebody that is healthy and somebody that is not healthy. You see, for those people that inherited those genes from their parents, what they will do is very simple. It's just that you have known the condition that you find yourself in. Then the next thing should be solution, right?
Yeah.
So if you have that at the back of your mind, you have to apply what we call self-discipline. You will not say, you know that your mother, let me say the mother is obese or the father.
Okay.
You know that I'm looking at this person, that is how I look like. Like in my place, they will tell you if you want to marry any girl, check the mother. So the way you see the mother in my place, that's what we do.
Really?
Yes. The
It
way
tells
the
you
mother, how your wife will look like in the nearest future. So when you now see that they are obese in that family, or you from that family have identified that I'm likely to be obese,
Okay.
you have to apply discipline to control whatever you are going to eat. You should know from what we have just said and what Alhaja has just said you should know the kind of food that you have to take. You have to balance your diet in such a way that it should give you adequate nutrition to cope with whatever activity you are engaging yourself in. For instance, somebody that is a truck pusher is expected to take enough of starch because he will require energy to burn, because he will definitely burn them.
Very
But
true.
you that is doing a sedentary work and you're also consuming carbohydrate, definitely is not going anywhere other than your system. So you allow those people to follow the rudiments of the proper nutrition. If they follow such, the likelihood of turning or becoming the obese in the nearest future will be minimized, even though they may eventually be, but at least it would have been to an extent that they have taken care of themselves. If it's going to be at the age of 40 that they will be obese, it will be towards the tail end of their lifetime, as at that time there won't be any fat even to increase.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Ely and Alaja Winjobi. Many thanks to you, our listener there, for being a part of Healthy Living today. Ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ tún ní àkókò míì tí ẹ ó máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ètò ìlera ẹ̀dá, níbi tí a ó sì tún ti máa tẹ̀síwájú lórí ìsanra àsanjù eléyìí tí à ń bá bọ̀ látòní lọ. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin àlejò mi Alaja Winjobi àti ọ̀gbẹ́ni Andrew Ely. Next time is another moment when we'll do this again. Remember, your health is your wealth. Please take good care of it. My name is Bilkis ISHOLA TAIWO. Good evening.
That you see, the land is green.